Who leaves a chair in the middle of a dark room that is normally doesn't normally have a chair where you have put a chair? Who leaves that there? So the people have to walk through that room and are used to kind of knowing where everything is in the dark because you don't want to turn on the main light. You want to get across the room to the other room where the light is that you want to turn on. You don't want to leave too many lights on. I don't think that's a crazy idea. Who leaves a chair where there was no chair just the prior day? All right, I should probably make sense of this. I'm walking downstairs, coming down here to do this. Coming to the studio on Juneteenth. It's June 19th, by the way. I'm celebrating this holiday, this federal holiday, by not having a morning show, by not having other things. I am working, though, but I'm not working that hard. Anyway, I came down here to record this diary episode, and it's pitch black in the space between the stairwell where I come down and my office door, which is, I don't know, 20 feet away or whatever it is. That is usually an open space. I know exactly where the path is. I don't have to think of nothing. I can just walk it. I do it blind, basically. There's no light. Unless I turn the light on in the main living room. But if I do that, then that's on, and that's stupid. That's a waste of electricity. Because I don't really have an easy way to turn it off on the other side. Right? I should probably fix that. But anyway, the point is, somebody left a big old beefy freaking office chair right in the path. And so I'm hauling down here like a wild person, ready to rock, man. I'm ready to do dark, dirty work down here, and I slam into that chair. And I think the sound I made was like that. And I fell and got all tangled up in this thing. And that sucked. I didn't like that at all. I would not recommend that. Man, I had a vitamin a minute ago, and this thing does not want to stay down. You ever have like a big multivitamin and that thing is like like a horse vitamin, like a big old fatty, and you're just like, all right, here we go. You drink a ton of water with it, but it just is like halfway down your throat going, I think today my jurisdiction ends here, and it just stays there, I feel like I'm fighting that a little bit. But anyway, yeah, I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be tripping over no chairs. Somebody's got to pay. Somebody's going to be yelled at today. Probably not yelled at. Probably someone will have a stern talking to. And my guess is that someone will be my daughter. Because who else would have left a chair there? Not my wife. Not the dogs. Not me. Probably her. But then again, I'm kind of in trouble. Do you guys want to hear why I'm in trouble? I don't know why I'm asking. You can't answer me, so I'll just say it. Here's why I'm in trouble. I'm going to assume you all want to hear this. I'm in trouble because they took the dog. While I was working yesterday, I was on shows and stuff. They took the dogs, or no, just dog. Took Ripley, Mrs. Carter's dog, Ripley. Ellen Ripley, the dog. She's a Weimaraner, some kind of lab mix. She looks mostly Weimaraner, though. If you looked at her, you'd go, "Oh yeah, big old hunting dog from the South or something." You wouldn't think there was like a lab in there. But anyway, she's a very sweet dog, and we all love her, and everything's great. But they took her to the dog park. Now, normally trips to the dog park, she's happy to be there. She wants to hang out with other dogs. She runs around like a crazy dog, loves it. Friendly as can be, full of energy, just loves going to the dog park. This time, she became very suspicious and defensive when two other dogs showed up, just friendly, coming up to play with her or whatever. And because they were situated on one side, she was in the middle, and Carter was behind her, she suddenly went, ding, they're after my owner, they're after my charge. And I have to defend her with all my might. I don't know why this snapped in her, but this is what happened. And she went crazy and fought these other dogs who were not there to fight. They were just playing. And I guess she got really like just ferocious for a hot minute. And I don't think any like skin was pierced or any sort of, bloodletting or anything. But, jaws were gnashed. Let's say it that way. Got real hairy for a minute. And it really upset Carter because this is not like her dog normally. Here's where I come in. I'm in trouble because they think, when I say they, her and my wife, both think that the reason she's doing this or the reason she acted out at the dog park is because I sometimes, and I admit to doing this, sometimes I like to rile her up. So she'll be, in a room chilling. And if I walk in the room, everything's fine. But if I walk in the room and stop and freeze and just hold really still for a second, Ripley will go and get like mad or think that something's up and sometimes bark. And I think it's funny, but it's possible that what I think is funny is actually detrimental to her overall nature, that she is, that I'm instilling in her. We don't know what life was like for Ripley before we got her. She was a rescue. So for all I know, she was teased or beaten or, we don't know. We have no idea. And so the thinking on their part is that I have cracked an egg and that egg is now like spilling all over the pan. And she's like, I'm going to be defensive now for everything because Scott's at home keeping me on my toes all the time with a false sense of danger, right? I don't necessarily disagree with them. I shouldn't do it. I'm not going to do it anymore. After this event, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I probably shouldn't, tease the dog anymore. And again, you need to understand, this isn't like physical teasing or me poking it in the face with a broom or something dumb like that. This is just me freezing in the room, having her growl, and then I keep moving. And then everything goes back to normal. It's not some exercise in abject cruelty, but it's enough, apparently, to make her go full Super Saiyan at the freaking side of any other dogs now at the dog park, or at least that's the theory. I don't know. I don't know if this could have been just a one-off. She's in a certain mood. Dogs can sense all sorts of kinds of stuff. They don't just feel danger because their co-owner teases them a little bit. Sometimes they get their senses, their smells, their whatever's at a dog park, and it may have been all that. I don't know. There's no way to know, but it doesn't matter because they're convinced of it. So therefore I have to, I can have all the theories I want. The consensus is Scott is a bad influence on the dog. So I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to stop teasing the dog because I love that dog. Dog's amazing. I love her. I wrestle with her and hold her and hug her, and she'll lay with me all the time. Like we're best pals. It's not that we don't get along. It's just that she has this one instinct when you freeze in a room that something's wrong and she'll growl, right? Har, 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 very funny, but I can't do it anymore. So I'm not doing that anymore. My point is that if Carter left that chair in the middle of the room and I just tumbled over it, well, maybe this is karma. Maybe this is justice. Maybe we're even. I'm willing to accept that that's possible. Who am I to question nature in its mysterious ways, right? All right. Let's get into some other stuff. I noticed yesterday how out of it I am in the sports front. And I wonder if you guys are going through this at all. In the 1990s, I was really, really tuned in to especially the NBA, but also NFL and to some degree MLB. I kind of kept track of everything, but I was really, really into like week to week what was happening in basketball. And I think, a big part of that was the Jazz were actually good in the 90s and had a real chance at a ring a couple of times. And probably the best chance we'll ever have, at least in my lifetime. They just also happened to coincide with Jordan at his height and the Bulls at their height. And so we got knocked out by them a couple times in a row there. And that sucked real bad. there's a lot of theories around here about whether or not some fans poisoned Jordan on the night that he played sick, still scored 68 points or some crazy number like that. And led the game in scoring, even though he was deathly ill. Like literally doctors are like, if he just about killed himself playing that night. The rumor is that, and it was in that documentary, what's it called? 5 Days to Dance, or the final dance 5 times over, whatever it is, whatever the name of that is, Netflix thing. The story goes that fans brought pizza to his room, and he was the only one that ate it, and he was the only one that got sick, and that maybe the pizza was poisoned on purpose. Anyway, they still beat us that night. That's really annoying. But the point is, don't if that's true, that's terrible. I shouldn't do that to anybody, right? But it's embarrassing just how good he was, and how in that shadow we were just destined to be. We just weren't gonna see. We just weren't gonna win. I don't know how else to put it. But as a result, because of all that, all that happening around the Utah Jazz during the 1990s, we were way into it. I was way into it, to the point that I was watching just regular season games between teams I didn't care about. I was, paying attention to weekly score sheets and reading newspaper stuff in the sports section, which I don't ever do now. I don't read a newspaper now either, but I'm in my 20s when this is all going down, and I was just into it. It was energizing, and I was super into it. So it occurs to me now, it was because of a conversation we had on the morning show about where things were with the NBA Finals, and they're well under, like, we've got one game left that kind of determines it, I think. I didn't even know that for sure. I could have checked that before recording today, but I'm pretty sure Boston, the Mavericks and the Celtics are the two. And I thought we were still at a stage where it was like, I think Denver's still in it, and aren't the Lakers? I'm like, I have all these ideas about where it's at that are all totally wrong. And I don't know what changed. It's not that I was a hardcore sports fanatic back in the day, but I knew what was up, especially when it came to like how our teams were doing. And I've certainly been keyed in on this new NHL team we're getting, or that we've now got. We don't have any games under our belt yet, but they've moved here. It's all going. They named them the Utah Hockey Club, which makes me want to die. But I guess that's a temporary name. And it makes sense, I guess, because while they work out trademark and all this other crap you have to do to get a name properly done and make sure you're in the clear and all that, they have to give it something. So that's the name for now. Everybody was voting on things like Mammoth and Blizzard and Yeti and all these names. Outlaws, some other stuff were on the ballot, and everybody thought one of those would be it. But then when they said, yeah, well, for now it's just Hockey Club until we get this worked out, it was a little disappointing, but whatever, it's temporary. So for now, we got the Utah Hockey Club, and I will be paying a lot of attention to that, trying to get tickets, all that stuff, because I love live hockey. Nothing better than a live hockey game, in my opinion. I love being at a live sport. My least favorite, ironically, is basketball. It's just too, I don't know what it is. It's too rowdy, too loud, too something. Can't put my finger on it. I don't like it live. I like it on TV, but live basketball is just annoying to me. Live baseball and hockey, that's where it's at. And I think that's because the pace of the games are just more conducive to you just kind of out there chilling, talking to who you came with, occasionally getting all rowdied up and going, yeah, look at that, woo, goal, whatever. And then back to kind of like, all right, is your hot dog good? Mine was good too. I think I'll get another one. Like just kind of that chill ballparky kind of vibe. And I love a ballpark hot dog. Like, or hockey, it doesn't matter. That food, sports food, even though I know it's garbage, man. I know it's crap. Oh, it's so good though. Like just a jacked up freaking Chicago style dog at like a farm league baseball game. Oh man. A little bit of sun, a little breeze. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, what I'm saying is, it was like a wake-up call because I do enjoy sports. I am not a sports fanatic. I never have been, nor will I ever be, but I miss the enjoyment of it. I miss the kind of, ooh, did you see the game? Like there's a stereotype around that where people get crap for, being way too into it. I just miss just the baseline being into it. And I know there's a lot of listeners out there who they're into their sports, their ones, their favorites, whatever. And I just had a big stretch of time where I kind of fell off. I mean, the Jazz lost twice in a row. I think, honestly, that may have been it because Karl Malone and John Stockton, the two best shots we ever had, retired. And when that happened, I went, oh, all right. Now we're into a rebuilding decade or more, right? Turns out more. And I was so disappointed. I came away from that just so like, okay. That I think I kind of just stopped caring. Ironically, I'm always on the lookout for like a really fun sports video game. Always on the lookout, especially like cool little indie things. I found a little NFL game. You know what? I can make a couple recommendations here. Let me do this real quick. This may not be core, but this is core-like because I'm about to give you some sweet video game recommendations. Yo, you might hear me mention this one again this week too, because one of these is real good, and I like it a lot. Here it is. It is called Legend Bowl. It is it's definitely a throwback to your Tecmo Bowls, your early Madden, 16-bit Madden kind of era. That's how the game looks, but it's even more of a throwback in that this is not, and these aren't NFL teams. These are fake teams, and I am a big fan of when you have to fake it because you don't have an NFL player's license and or league license, so you can't use the names. So you have to make stuff up. So you're like the Cleveland Cuckoo Clocks or or whatever dumb thing it is. The Denver Douchebags. It's your New York Gelatos, whatever. I love that. I love creative, silly game names, and this game's full of them. It's got this great presentation. It's very, very retro, but also has some nice, modern touches. You can play a whole franchise mode. There's like playoff modes, regular game modes, create your own team, your own coach, like all this stuff. And it's super cool. It's still in early access, but pretty polished. It's called Legend Bowl and is available now for, it's on sale. It's 60% off right now. Must be getting close to full release or something. Oh, and this is just one dude made this? Oh my gosh, I'm always impressed with that. Anyway, the game is $9.99 right now. That's worth getting. Plays beautifully on Steam Deck, is officially verified on Steam Deck, but also just from my own playtime with it, I'm impressed. And it's great. Pass plays, running plays. Is there even a coach option that just says, hey, what would the coach recommend the play I do right now? And it'll tell you. So if you're like bad at football and you don't know if you do a running play or a passing play or some combination or, whatever, it'll do that, especially on defense, which is where I struggle. I don't know how to do defense very well. So I'm never like quite sure. 4x3, deep zone. Like, what am I doing here? And you can hit coach recommends and then you just do that. Doesn't ensure you're going to win that play or anything, but there's weather effects and there's snow and some rain and all that. Anyway, this is not a commercial. Legend Bowl on Steam is excellent. And then for hockey fans out there, if I can find it. Oh, it's not called hockey, though. It doesn't have hockey in the name. Shoot, I forgot the name of this. Is it something puck? I'm not going to be able to find that. Instead, I'll do baseball. Super Mega Baseball 4, also on Steam. This one's a little bit more money. Let's see. I think this is, how much is this? $49. It's on sale here and there, though, for like $29. Absolutely worth picking up. If you played any of the Super Mega Baseball games, 1 through 3, you'll want to get 4. 4 is like they're at a place now that's pretty awesome. And it's like a combination of arcadey, old school baseball video game and a bunch of modern touches. It's full 3D. You can kind of control how much realism there is, but at a baseline, it's a, kind of a goofy, cartoony take on baseball. But the actual baseball is really good and plays great. And again, great Steam Deck game. It also is. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Can't remember. Oh, it has some of the best pitching in baseball game. I usually hate pitching systems in video games. This one, I really like the way it does it. And you have a lot of control over how it works and stuff like that. Super Mega Baseball 4. That's also on consoles and stuff. I can't remember the hockey one I'm into right now. It's really good, but I cannot remember the name. It's a weird little indie title, and I wish I had it in front of me. I'm irritated now that I can't find it. Where is it? It's like Ice. No, it's not Ice. Hold on. Is it Ice? Maybe it's Ice. No. Is it, what's another one? Hat Trick. I'm just trying to find names that are in, I can't, let's see. Penalty? No. I can't find it. Anyway, not the point. Point is, I think I want to start being better about this, especially with local stuff. We got this NHL team coming, or, here now. I think I want to take that seriously. I really do like hockey a lot. To the shock of my Canadian friends. You guys don't even know what to do with this information. And I don't blame you. It's going to do it for today's discussion. I mean, what else can you ask for? Sports and how to treat dogs better. That's a pretty good combo. Pretty strong stuff. And also don't run into chairs on your way to your office. Could you please send me your feedback? I'd love some. Always love when I hear from you guys. The number to call with a voicemail and or a text. You can just text it if you want. That number is 801-471-0462. 801-471-0462. I did get one here from a listener who says, I don't have his name. Matt's appearance was fantastic. Thank you for making that happen. I've always been curious about how your parents became interested in adoption so late in their parenting. Would you mind sharing your parents' interest in adopting at that stage of their lives? Did I already do this one? I think I may have done this one. Yeah, I did. I did a whole thing about how all the miscarriages and me and my sister were freak occurrences and all that. Yeah. All right. Well, the rest of these I haven't gone through yet, so I can't read them yet. But please keep them coming, okay? All right, that's it. Thank you all for listening. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy your Juneteenth, and remember why we have this holiday. Go read your history. It is tragic, interesting, worth understanding. All right? So if you're just a dumb white kid from Utah like me, do yourself a favor and, put on some other shoes today, all right? All right, that'll do it. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.